이것은 시간을 쫓아 세계를 탐험하는 시간 여행자의 기록이다. 우리는 지금의 세계를 규정하는 유럽이란 실체에 접근해 보기 위해 로마로 향했다. 우리는 토바에서 거대한 화산의 흔적을 마주했고, 시나봉에선 기지개를 펴고 있는 폭주 직전의 야수를 만났어. 그렇다면 역사시대 화산과 인간과 문명의 관계를 가장 적나라하게 보여주는 곳은 어딜까? 이번엔 이탈리아야. 고대세계 최악의 재앙을 상징하는 나폴리의 베수비우스 화산을 보기 위해서 여기 이탈리아에 왔어. 근데 일단 나폴리로 가기 전에 여기 로마를 좀 둘러봐야 돼. 이번 베수비우스 화산의 이야기는 바로 여기 로마에서 시작되니까. 로마, 말만 들어도 이 얼마나 가슴 뛰는 이름이야. 내가 애초에 이렇게 시간여행을 떠나서 역사에 빠지게 된 시작점에는 고대 로마가 있어. 2000년 전 매력 넘치는 고대 로마 영웅들의 이야기는 역사에 관심이 없는 사람이라도 조금만 들여다보면 안 빠질 수가 없을 거야. 이탈리아인들 말론 고대 로마의 역사는 기원전 753년에 시작한다고 해. 그럼 로마의 기원부터 한번 이야기를 시작해 보려다 안 하려고. 또 그렇게 딥하게 들어가면 그나마 안 나오는 조회수가 더 망할 것 같아서. 창녀와 쌍둥이, 사비니 여인에 대한 집단 납치 겁탈 사건, 실상 왕이 아닌 족장이 이끈 범죄자 속을 로마 마을에 대한 이야기는 개인적으로 만나게 되면 털도록 할게. 그렇게 시간여행자의 로마 역사 이야기는 최대한 타협을 봐서 여기 대머리 아저씨로 시작할게. 고대 로마의 제정시대를 연 시대의 천재 율리우스 카이사르야. 토가 주름까지 신경 썼던 로마 최고의 멋남, 자기선전의 귀재, 전 시대를 관통하는 탁월한 장군, ruthless pragmatism, 가차없는 실용주의란 말이 딱 어울리는 인물. 혼란하며 부유했던 공화족 말기, 고귀한 가문의 가난한 야심가 카이사르는 BC 49년 사병화된 자신의 군단을 이끌고 루비콘을 건너 로마를 소나기에 넣었어. 누군가는 쓰러져가는 로마를 일으킨 위대한 혁명가라고도 하고, 또 누군가는 개인적 권력욕에 눈이 멀어 로마를 망친 개놈이라고 부르기도 해. 이런 상반된 평가에도 불구하고 어쨌든 로마 1000년의 역사 한 명의 주인공을 뽑으라고 하면 당연히 율리우스 카이사르지. 결국 카이사르는 황제가 되진 못했지만 카이사르는 황제의 칭호로 남았어. 카이사르의 최고의 업적은 누가 뭐라 해도 자신의 계획을 완수할 후계자로 옥타비아누스 아우구스투스를 선택한 거야. 이곳은 아우구스투스의 무소불위의 권력과 재정으로 들어선 로마의 안정을 상징하는 곳, 아라파치스, 평화의 재단이야. 내 인생 최고의 박물관을 고르라고 하면 난 여기를 고를 거야. 평화의 재단 딱 하나의 구조물만 덩그러니 놓여져 있지만 왁자지껄 복잡한 로마의 한가운데서 이름처럼 설계된 이 박물관에 들어서는 순간, 이것이 연출된 것이든 실제이든 아우구스투스의 로마가 무엇이었냐를 생생하게 손에 잡히듯 느낄 수 있게 만들어줘. 우리가 상상하는 로마의 이미지는 아우구스투스 시대부터 시작돼. 진흙의 로마를 대리석으로 바꾼 건 바로 이 미남 초대 황제, 위대하며 동시에 교활했던 정치가 아우구스투스였어. 트럼프랑 비슷한 머리 스타일의 고전학자로 런던 시장을 지낸 보리스 존슨은 아우구스투스에 대해 이렇게 얘기했어.
아우구스투스는 세계가 지금까지 봐온 가장 위대한 정치가였어요. 역사상 가장 성공한 정치가 축구 베스트 11을 만든다면 아우구스투스는 미드필더이자 주장에 해당해요.
카이사르의 죽음 이후 안토니우스와의 경쟁에서 승리하여 황제가 된 아우구스투스는 공화정의 탈을 쓴 제국 로마의 완성을 위해 여태껏 그 누구도 생각지 못했던 새로운 형식의 혁신을 만들어냈어.
It was the time when togas and sandals were trending, slavery was normal, and all of the roads led to Rome. And into this world, a child was born to become someone truly great, and his name was Augustus Caesar. A 2-minute summary. So the boy was actually named Gaius Octavian, or simply Octavius. He was the grandnephew of none other than Julius Caesar himself. His early political career began when he was invited to become a member of the Board of Priests, the Pontifices. He later carried on with his military and academic studies, only to learn that in 44 BC, his granduncle, the leader of the not-such-a-free Roman world, Julius Caesar, was murdered by the conspirators in the Roman Senate. As it turned out, Caesar named Octavian to be his rightful heir, which was challenged by many, including Caesar's close friend and Roman general, Mark Antony. At the same time, the conspirators who killed Caesar ran away from Rome to the east. Octavian negotiated with the remaining senators, who proclaimed him to be the rightful heir to Caesar, which meant that he now had access to Caesar's gold. Octavian raised an army by getting Caesar's veterans to join his cause, by paying them with his inheritance. After countless talks, intrigues, and so on, Octavian allied himself with Mark Antony, and the two successfully crushed the conspirators' army. Octavian, Mark Antony, and another general, Lepidus, formed a triumvirate, meaning that the three of them ruled the empire together. Antony got the east, in particular Egypt, as well as its queen Cleopatra, and Lepidus got the African part, and, well, Octavian got the rest. Octavian and Mark Antony continued to plot against each other. Finally, Octavian, with the help of his close friend Marcus Agrippa, defeated the fleet loyal to Antony and Cleopatra, and so, unwilling to surrender, the queen and her lover committed suicide. This pretty much meant that Octavian was now the one in charge. Lepidus was no threat to him, especially after Lepidus died in 12 BC. In 27 BC, Octavian assumed the name of Augustus. During his rule, the empire was completely overwhelmed by peace and prosperity. Augustus Caesar started many administrational reforms that led to the introduction of civil service, greatly improved the bureaucratic apparatus, expanded the Roman coinage, changed the tax system, and annexed Germany and Bohemia. The genius of Augustus Caesar can be summed up in his own humble words.
I found Rome a city of bricks, and made it a city of marble.
You are my son, but I've done all I can to protect you.
The gods smile on you, Octavian. You're a good soldier.
I'm a politician.
We don't need more politicians. It's not more speeches in the Senate that will change the world. Rome is dying.
Why do you think Caesar favored you so?
I was loyal.
No, Octavian. He saw in you the potential to continue his legacy. Not to follow him, but to exceed him.
Antony cannot be trusted. His heart lies in Egypt. We must confront the reality that civil war is inevitable.
And how will bloodshed save the people of Rome?
You are not meant to save them. You are meant to lead them.
All men are troubled when their moment has come.
I am not Caesar. I don't have his strength.
The people loved him, and they will love you.
You can't think like an ordinary man. You must reach beyond mortal ambition and do what has never been done.
To survive, my son, Rome must have an emperor.
Augustus Caesar was the first Roman emperor and ended the historic Roman Republic. His rule lasted 41 years. Augustus Caesar's birth name was Gaius Octavius, and he was named as heir to and adopted by his great-uncle Julius Caesar in 43 BC after Caesar was killed. Octavius avenged his great-uncle's death, and after defeating Mark Antony and Cleopatra in 31 BC, he became the undisputed ruler of Rome. Octavius did not follow in Julius Caesar's footsteps by making himself dictator, but ruled by the Principate, where an emperor held power for life within a monarchy. Augustus reconstructed Rome and embarked on a period of social reform. He had direct control of the army, but also created a standing army for the first time in Rome's history. He expanded the empire and ensured that the borders were secure and that peace reigned throughout the empire. Augustus' armies pushed the boundaries of the empire into Germany in 14 BC, up towards the Danube River, and later towards the Elbe River. This became unsustainable for the empire, so the armies pulled back from the Elbe, and Augustus agreed that the empire had reached its natural boundaries. Culture flourished under Augustus' rule, and his reign was named the Augustan Age for the burgeoning art and culture that came from this period. Virgil, Horace, Ovid and Livy all came to prominence during his reign. Augustus had no sons during his lifetime, and his only surviving child was his daughter Julia. He reluctantly made Tiberius his heir after his grandsons died. He died in AD 14, and he is famously quoted as saying, "I found Rome made of clay, and leave her to you of marble." His regime lasted nearly 1500 years, and he is known as the greatest emperor of Rome.